Enough time to warm up? Okay, so warm up. What do you think about, what do you consider a rude word? What did you put for your rudest word, Anna?
Haggler.
Haggler,
I put tightwad.
tightwad,
Tightwad.
tightwad,
Haggler.
haggler, cheap, cheap.
Why would you? Haggler is so bad. Like a tightwad.
But you can like say because cheap, it's not always like you don't spend a lot of money. It's always like, oh, she's a cheap person. Alright, wait, never mind.
I put haggler
Well, I just think it's
because I wouldn't mind being called a haggler, but tightwad I would.
My opinion, I
Maybe
vote
Dave's something
tightwad
like
is
that.
probably the rudest word.
I did haggler.
But most people put haggler. So
I feel like hag sounds ugly, like
It's
that.
not really.
Like, but it's kind of like usually it's a very assertive person because they're gonna be like, can I give you, would you take $3 for that? Is that a 5? Okay, how about $3.50? And
I
they
think
keep,
it's more like the difference between bargaining and haggling. Like if you haggle for something, you're like you really want to get the lowest price possible.
so you feel like haggling is worse than saying like a bargainer.
Yeah,
I definitely
because
agree.
bargaining would be like, this has a scratch on it. What would you pay if I took it down 50 cents or whatever like that? But a haggler is like this is not worth that much. it
Yeah, they're
needs to be this
like,
much.
you're
I'll
gonna
only
be
pay
very
this much
persistent.
for it.
I'm thinking about
I'll be like,
in what was it? Blanking on our stories. Our first story, Gift of the Magi. I kept wanting to say the necklace. I'm like, that's the wrong female character. Because she kept like haggling over like the meat markets and stuff to try to get like pennies and dimes off stuff so she could save up her money. So, well, regardless of
Then
where
she
you
still
put
only
your,
ended up with $1.
so it doesn't go far. So maybe haggler was your first, maybe tightwad was your first, maybe cheap was your first. What is your next rudest word?
Cheap.
Tightwad. Is that
Cheap.
haggler.
So those are at least around there. Did you put thrifty and saving savvy more at like the positive end in your mind? Anybody disagree?
I
There is
put
some
like
subjective
I
ideas in my
put
most
thrifty and then save the savvy or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's
Yeah.
really is the like
It means the same
next
thing.
like tied for last. For me.
Fair enough.
'Cause
So
I
if you compass, all of these words mean something along the lines of somebody who is saving money and not spending a whole lot, right? But we understand, this is why English gets hard, especially if you're not a native English speaker, that these have different like subtle levels of emotion with it. Like you would much rather be called thrifty than the tightwad or the haggler, right?
or cheapskate. Did
Yeah.
you put that on there?
So it'd be more interesting if we put cheapskate instead of cheap. And if we put bargainer over there, that was Tristan's word, instead of haggler. That also has some more shades of levels there. Alright, and I got setting essay drafts if you didn't turn them in. So if you did turn it in, like you said, you do not have a final draft this week. So you're only writing a final draft if you received a rough draft marked up back. Everyone will do Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. So that's a sermon excerpt that I'll post online, and I will have a list of things that you're supposed to mark and identify in the sermon excerpt. So I just said identifying rhetorical devices. That covers a list of like imagery, similes, metaphors, all that good stuff. He uses a lot in that. And as Jackson said, that's Jonathan Edwards, Puritans. And you'll also just print out notes to bring to class for next week. So print it out and we'll do it together in class. We have lots of notes lately. Good so far? Any questions?
Did we have to bring notes this week?
Yes,
Okay.
we did have to bring notes this week.
Darn it.
Yeah.
I was like every other
Yeah.
time.
Wait, which ones were they again?
I don't know.
There was some
Imaginary and figures of speech.
We'll get there all together.
How come I forget every single time, even though I print it out every single time?
Well, I think we talked about that before. It's easy to just be like, oh, I'll get to that later, and then you forget.
I have to make a to-do list.
It just drives me crazy because I print it out, but I don't bring it.
Well,
So I just have this big pile of favorites.
let's actually
Put it in
start the
the
notes, and then we're going to pause and look at an exercise in the book.
Put it
So
in
if
the
you
back.
have notes, it should start with imagery. See if we all have the right thing.
I don't think I printed mine out.
If you didn't print yours, just grab a piece of paper. We'll help you kind of number and list your words, and you can fill it in later. I was also a little worried that I formatted those notes differently. I don't remember what the student notes. hopefully was. Also, if you can't find yours, it might help if you sit next to someone who does have theirs, so you can kind of, that might help you keep track. Okay, so this is from the book. We're gonna review what imagery is, look at some examples, and then we're gonna do a practice from the book together. And then we'll kind of break up and dive into the rest of our notes. That way you're not just sitting and listening for like all of the first part of class.
It's like the least amount of people we've had before.
Oh, where's everybody? I just realized
I'm missing-
Zach's sick, and that's it.
Yeah, Zach,
And
maybe
Kyle.
Kyle.
Exactly Kyle, but Kyle. We're
We
gonna say
could-
Kyle permanently.
We could really cut this room in half and still have one extra seat.
Oh.
I take a whole
Wait.
table.
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, we won.
But-
Well, if like Zach was so sick.
We're so hot.
We know I won it. Wait, oh, I thought we had 6.
If
Alright.
only you could like cut it in half and make it longer. And like
That'd be like
keep
a
all
really
this.
skinny classroom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You could play bowling.
imagery. Do you remember what imagery is?
Imagine.
Yeah, I wrote my
It's language that appears to the senses.
Yes, appeals to the senses. So in your notes, that's the first line. Imagery, language that appeals to the senses. I think you have a blank for the word senses.
Yeah, that's how you spell it.
And we have imagery shows rather than tells. I think those are blanks.
Patricia, do you mind if I share with you like my diary?
That'll be worse.
It's a little easier to track along when you can actually see it. So imagery, language that appeals to the senses, it shows rather than tells. If you vaguely remember, I think this was before Thanksgiving break. We went outside and we wrote a poem about leaves.
Oh, yeah.
That was
And
so fun.
so we were thinking about fall senses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we
Like
were,
those
That seems like
cheesy
a great
things that like
choice.
smell high in the
Yes,
sunlight.
yeah.
It feels like a short time ago.
I
Yeah.
felt like I was back in 4th grade.
so fun.
Feels like
Okay.
that was just like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, in some ways it's like, is that that long ago? It was only
It was a
that
couple
long
weeks
ago?
ago, like times 4.
Time gets worse. Alright, so imagery. I think the word is often deceptive because you see image and you're thinking visual. And a lot of imagery is visual, like trying to help you picture things that are just written. But our full list is it's visual, so in plain language that's sight. So the parentheses are so you can kind of put it in everyday language. So your sense of sight. Auditory is what? Hearing, sound, whatever makes more sense to you, write that down. Tactile. Do you know what that is?
Taste. Oh, this is anyone.
Tactile is touch. So if it's, you can just write touch. It might be like temperature of things, so saying something is hot or cold, that would also be tactile. Like if you like put your finger on it, you could describe if it's rough, if it's soft, if it's hot, cold.
These tables are hard.
Olfactory, do you know that one?
Hold on.
Olfactory?
Not Olaf.
Like old factory?
No. It's your sense of smell.
Olfactory.
Whole factory.
Fancy word for your sense of smell.
Old factory? How do you spell that?
O-L-A-F.
No, L
Smell
F A.
factory? So it's a smell factory.
There you go. Smell factory. Now you'll remember.
We're all
that
off
one.
smell stuff.
There you go. And another fun one, gustatory.
Taste.
Taste.
Lucitory. Lavatory.
I wouldn't combine those two.
We have a sixth sense.
Yes.
Feeling.
And kinesthetic, sensation
Okay.
and movement.
Sensation.
We
I've
should
had
have
an
image
argument
control.
that actually we have like a bunch of senses, like your sense of time passing, your sense of like that kind of thing, that's technically another sense. Your spidey sense.
We should do an
you know, all
imagery
those.
poem
Yeah,
about.
your spidey
3%
sense,
fluid.
whatever.
Because everybody has one of those, right?
Locomotive.
We should do an imagery poem
I
about
eat
hugs.
1% fluid.
Are you done your time?
Okay, first example, and then we're gonna look at a practice from the book. We have the sentence, he watched the basketball game. So we're thinking about what are some descriptions that would help this sentence. So you should have some space where you can practice that So think about like go through our list of 6 senses, thinking about if somebody's like sitting and watching a basketball game, what would they see? What would they hear? What would they touch? So that's your list. You can brainstorm on your own, and then we'll take a minute and share what we come up with. So try to do at least a couple for each of our 6 senses listed.
So what are we doing for this?
So what would they see? What would they hear? What would you touch? What would you smell? What would you taste? What would you say? What is your sensation?
Let's see.
We're gonna tell what type of game is this? Like a professional
For
game,
smell.
or is this?
It's open to interpretation because it just says the basketball game.
It's a North Carolina game. Against
Boo.
Duke, and
Yes,
they
I
beat
love
them
Carolina.
by
Boo.
like
I hate both.
a crazy amount of points.
Duke.
I don't care.
Boo Duke.
Sparkle.
I don't appreciate
Well,
that.
if so many people like Duke, then why does North Carolina have the nickname the or not the the Tar Heels?
In my house, Duke means big fluffy brown dog. I'm like, this is good. Duke goes pets.
Duke.
Duke.
I don't know if they had a dog in Duke.
It's a dog.
Olfactory would be kind of
Duke is barren.
disgusting at a game.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, you can think of a lot of games sell concessions, so you can maybe think about what
Even disgusting.
you can think about like what.
Hey, that's what I said. Dang it, Karis.
What's auditory?
Smell of popcorn.
I did
What's
the taste
auditory?
of he
What you would
felt
hear.
popcorn.
Oh.
Just he was
I
putting
said
the
he
edge
felt
of the
loud
seat.
stuff. Loud stuff.
What kind of loud stuff?
Oh, good point.
What would make the game loud?
What's your announcers talking? I mean,
Loud stuff.
touching the seats and food.
People yelling at me
But touching the seats and food.
for not liking
You have to get like nice seats.
Yeah, the old
I don't
factory.
appreciate that.
The old factory. You can smell the old factory.
I'm done.
Smelling.
I've actually never been to the basketball.
Duke fans.
Really?
Well, I've been to
Some
Upward.
Duke fans can be
I like
scary.
It's
It's like they're kind of like the Raiders fans
That was
of basketball.
Yeah.
Raiders.
I've been to a Division I basketball.
I've been
I've been
to a Carolina game.
Furman versus Wofford.
Wait, who won?
Yeah.
I've been to gymnastics.
Who won?
You never heard of Furman? Furman?
Wait,
Furman
Jackson.
or
Who won?
like Hurton.
Furman. I love North Carolina though, they're so good.
Furman versus
My
like
sister goes there except she's.
my top involved.
Oh yeah, my
Gymnastics meet.
Alright, sounds like we're about ready to start discussing schools and basketball games. Alright, what did you put for visuals that would be at our basketball game? Yes.
He saw the ball bounce.
I'm about to say sawing the ball bounce. He saw the ball bounce, seeing the ball bounce. Karis.
I saw the players scramble.
Players scramble,
Saw
ball
the
bounce.
technique.
You just watched the game.
You watched the
He's a
game.
low-key.
That's visual, yep. Gentlemen, any visuals for, visual
People.
Sorry.
people playing the game,
People playing basketball. It's very much
playing basketball,
Sparkly.
sparkling?
Sparkly. Something sparkly.
Something
Yeah,
sparkly.
Something sparkly.
Alright,
Were they playing with the big sparkly ball or something?
Yeah.
shiny whistle, I don't know. Alright, auditory, what did they hear? Yeah,
He heard the crowd cheer.
crowd
You
cheer,
heard the ball dribbling.
ball
I had
dribbling,
the same thing as Anna.
Announcers talking.
announcers talking.
Flat ball.
What's going on at your basketball game?
It's basketball.
I find it
Steph
interesting because we
Curry
went there after
played
saying
two
loud
minutes
stuff
before.
earlier, a flat ball, that's not very loud. Okay, tactile, let's start with gentlemen, what'd you get for tactile?
Touching seats and food.
Yeah,
Touching
hard
seats and
seats.
food, hard
Touching the
seats
popcorn.
specifically,
I
touching
said
popcorn,
That's
you
good.
felt the bleachers underneath.
Touching a
feeling the
flat,
bleachers,
Nice seats.
touching a flat ball.
Gripping the edge of his seat.
Yeah, you can
gripping the
flop
edge of the
over
seat,
like
good. Especially if you're
Margaret
getting
Rose's
specifics like, is the bleacher cold, is it hard?
Cold air.
Oh, yeah.
Air, that could count. Olfactory, what do you smell? I'm with Karis, it sounds a little creepy.
Ooh, he smelled the victory that Nancy had. Cause you know, you can
Smell
like
the
smell the
victory.
victory.
That works.
People.
Smell people, what do people smell
smell the
like?
disgusting smell
What?
after the players have been running around, they got something in their shoes, so they take it off. when you're sitting. And you're
I was thinking you were gonna go for like sweaty basketball
That's what
players,
I was
but
going
no,
to
a
say.
shoe.
the shoe,
The
the
sticky
shoe is
shoe.
the bad part.
Alright. Smelly shoes, check.
Oh, smelly feet inside of the shoes.
Yes.
I said the snack vendors popping popcorn.
Yes. Popping popcorn, maybe hot dogs, whatever. What do you taste?
Food.
The popcorn.
The
Cotton
popcorn,
candy.
the cotton candy,
The nachos.
the Coke, the nachos, yes, so hopefully something like tasty like that. Alright, kinesthetic, what sort of movement is going on? Yes,
I said he saw the players run and dunk the ball.
running, dunking the ball, yeah, shooting
The ball.
Kind of like
Flopping.
excited.
flopping a flat ball,
Well, being excited.
potentially. Like if you're describing like the excitement.
People flopping.
I feel like
No, they're at a
kinesthetic
good
is
game, watching
tricky.
Grayson Allen flop.
Because when you're
After he trips
describing
somebody.
movement, it kind of seems like it's visual, right? I don't know if anybody else's brain is thinking along those lines, so I can see that's probably why a lot of times it's just grouped as 5 senses instead of 6. Because when you're describing the players running up and down the court, like, would you consider that visual or just the movement? Specifically, it's the movement from the visual, but at any rate, it works for our practice, yes.
I have a question about like just words. This cannot happen. But what's the difference between farther and further?
Farther is for measurable distance, and further is like metaphorical.
Oh.
It can get really tricky, like I remember having a huge debate with one of my honors English classes about, is the bucket of paint going to go farther or further than you expected? And we're like, but it's measurable, no, it's metaphorical, blah, 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 blah. And the answer was further, we had to look it up. I thought it was farther.
Yeah.
So the way I keep it straight is distance farther. If you pretend you're really southern, you're talking about distance of something, it's
I know
farther
people
with
do
an
that.
A. People mess it up all the time.
Just really confused. I was like,
Yeah.
what? It bounces on my head. It doesn't work.
Okay. Step 2 of our example, now that we've brainstormed something for each of our senses, we're going to rewrite the sentence. So instead of he watched the basketball game, so
Can we change his name?
sure.
Okay.
The goal is that you're going to use as much imagery as possible. I will read you the example. Sitting on the slick red bench, the boy watched the basketball players race down the court while the fans roared, "Defense!" and stomped loudly on the bleachers. So notice, like, that's a pretty far version from he watched the basketball game. So feel free to take some liberty with it. Add as much imagery as is appropriate. There is such a thing as adding, like, way too much ridiculous imagery. And
I
looking
did.
at you.
I did. He watched Steph Curry shoot a 3-pointer while smelling hot dogs at the basketball.
That's better, at least more specific too. So take a minute, read, revise, write, and then we'll share some examples. almost finished. We'll start sharing in like 20 seconds. Alright, looks like most of us are done. So who's ready to like share? Anna.
Okay, I said, well, Timothy sat on the bleachers eating popcorn. He saw the basketball players dribble and dunk the ball while the crowd cheered with enthusiasm.
Very good. Tristan.
Standing on a hard bench, the boys shouted at the players while eating a delicious hot dog.
Computers. Eating and talking at the same time.
Choke.
That's just where
It
my
was
mind
like
is with the
thinking-
toddler this morning trying to eat a bagel and stand on a chair. I'm like, this is gonna go badly. Yes.
Kenneth watched the players scramble for the ball and was not enjoying himself, for he felt sick from the smell of sweat and popcorn cake.
That would be a gross combination. Henry.
George jumped as he saw Karnowski dunk while he was drinking a Coke.
Also could be bad news. Take a Coke.
Yeah.
And baptized person next time. Alright, any other volunteers? We don't all have to share, but open opportunity.
Everybody should share.
I already shared mine last time.
True.
Stepping Curry.
Okay, last question for this section, and then we're gonna look at an example in our book also. Why do you think writers use imagery? So why bother? Why can't we just write, he watched the basketball game? It's a lot shorter. Tristan.
Put the image they have in their head into your head.
So getting that same exact image across. Making sure we get the same meaning. Yes. Any other ideas?
To more strongly imply a situation or like sadness or feeling of the character they're like describing.
Right, and I mean, I think it was your paper, where we were talking about the imagery of the setting helps show how sad Minnie Wright really was.
Yeah.
And how lonely that was. Karis,
To enhance the story.
to enhance the story.
Kind of like Kira said, but to enhance the readers. So
Right,
like
so-
if you're reading this boring sentence, I'd be like, forget this is gonna be boring. But if it's actually really exciting, you're like, oh, this might actually be worth my time.
Right, and I remember we looked at a passage before from The Most Dangerous Game where he was like first walking up to the palatial chateau, and we were talking about the like things were like plunging upward, and the like so there's a lot of contrast in there where we're like, this makes me feel uneasy. So a lot of that imagery will give the reader the same mood, so we're feeling what the
And
author
especially
wants us
if
to
you're alone
feel.
out there, like Dink Dark Island, and you come up on a huge house with
Yeah, a lot of it is just unnatural, like it's not what you
Gargoyle.
expect.
Watch out!
Right.
Watch out! If you trip, you might fall off.
It's like Inception, where everything works funky because it's dreamland. It's weird. Okay, so yes, writers use imagery for all of those reasons, so that we can feel a certain mood. We would call that evoking an emotion. That's a good word, evoking, evocative, in that sense. To develop a character, enhance a theme, create mood, even just to keep moving the plot forward, and simply even just to add interest, make it more memorable. Like you might remember that picture of somebody watching a basketball game and throwing the Coke up in the air versus just the sentence of he watched the basketball game. Yes.
one of my gymnastics coaches. She told us a story when she was at a Panthers football game. She absolutely loves the Panthers. She was holding a beer and like almost dropped it, and it spilled all over the person in front of her.
Happens a lot of those games because you're kind of in like close quarters, you know?
I think I like synonyms for transmit.
For transmit. What do you think? Synonyms for transmit? You think of anything off the top of your head?
Convey.
Convey?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, unless you're like literally. Are you literally transmitting something?
No, it's just I was
Teleport.
it was like transmit emotion.
Convey
Convey.
emotion, that would be a good word in that sense for emotions. Okay, we are going to look at this really short poem and look at the images in it. The tricky part is the book gives you like examples on the next page. So open your book to page 136 and 137, and then turn it so you're only looking at 136.
I opened up to.
Are we done doing the news for your?
We're
Magic.
pausing for a moment, so we're just gonna focus on imagery for right now. And if per chance you did not bring your book, then share with a neighbor. Looks like so
But
far.
everybody's your neighbor.
Yeah, when you're this small in a class, and biblically everyone is a neighbor. So.
So only consider
So page 136. Make sure you folded your book so you're only looking at page 136.
because it is on that sheet.
Henry, I think we're just waiting for you.
Yes. 136.
Mhm.
Oh yes, I was right there. Like,
Oh,
just
come
30 pages away.
Nice.
Sometime. It's like
No
a
time.
ordinance like.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with that. It's creepy.
Obsessed with what?
I'm really
Time.
excited.
It's
Oh,
from
yeah.
this movie, and like you have to hug every hour on the hour. And yeah.
We're a little late.
You missed it.
Belated time.
We're all gonna die.
Okay. Page
What happens if you don't hug?
136.
You die.
You, I guess you're less loved. You lose
No,
count.
you just
Your soul is
Implode.
not open to happiness if you don't hug.
Some serious things.
Yeah, that's why I had to write a T in front of
Okay.
whatever.
maybe it's
What?
just trying to make you think that you'll be better.
Poem on page 136. It's only 2 stanzas that we're looking at. So we're going to read it and then look kind of line by line at our sensory experience. Any volunteer to just read? Interesting. And if you want to, you can read the whole thing or you can popcorn it off.
The gray sea in the long black land, and the yellow half moon large and low, and the startled little waves that leap in fiery ringlets from their sleep. As I gain the cove with pushing prow, and quench its speed, eye the slushy sand.
Then a mile of warm sea-scented beach, 3 fields crossed till a farm appears. A tap at the pane, the quick sharp scratch, and blue skirt of a lighted mat. And a voice less loud through its joys and fears, than 2 hearts beating each to each.
So, in general, what happened in the poem?
He met up with someone he wanted to see.
Yeah, so it sounds like, and especially with the title, meeting at night. We have 2 people meeting, and it sounds like they want to see each other.
But they're not really supposed to.
It's
Yeah.
an affair.
But you can, how do you know they're not really
Romeo and
supposed to?
Juliet.
Because
It's at night.
Because it's at night.
And
But
it's,
you're
he
not.
tapped at the pane, not at the door.
That's a good giveaway, because it's kind of like, well, I mean, maybe somebody was just traveling and they arrived at night, but the tapping at the pane is a little suspicious. I mean, maybe it could be as innocent as didn't want to wake the whole house or something like that, but it
It's
is
an
a little
affair.
suspect.
Or maybe they didn't have a door.
Or they just crawl through the window every time. Go down the chimney like
Oh,
Santa.
I know. Maybe the door was at, like, maybe they lived in a mansion and the door was, like, way.
No. The cab driver was renovating the house and then he stole their door.
Okay.
You mean the baby?
First line, Gracie
Didn't
along
sing
Black
this.
Lands. What sort of imagery are we getting?
Slash is general 0.
And mostly sight, we have colors, description of along Black Lands.
Do you want us to write this down?
Yes, so you're supposed to write this down in that book, and then you can
Warm
compare to what the
sea-scented
official answer is.
Can we just write like the sense that you're getting from it for that line?
So you can say the formal term like visual, tactile, whatever, you can say sight. And what is it, what are we getting from it? Is it light out, is it cheerful?
Not sure.
No, it's dark and gloomy and
Dark,
Death.
gloomy.
Death.
That might be a little
deadified.
Well, there's a half of a moon, and it's yellow.
This is for the first line, and now I'll get that. So you can say it's dark and gloomy, whatever, and we'll get to the next line. Okay, line 2, yellow, half moon, large and low. So what other types of senses is that
The
appealing to?
universe is gonna collide with me.
Sight.
So sight again, visual. So what are you saying, Tristan, about the half moon?
It's
What
like
would that be?
kind of light, but it's like waning.
Yeah, so waning, that's a
And
good
it's a
word.
low too, it's like the
Yeah.
about to collide.
So there's a
It's-
little bit of light, but not a whole
So it's
lot.
either really early in the night or really late in the night.
Yeah, so before the moon is in.
I think it's a bit later.
Well, it doesn't matter
Early in
because
the night, everyone else would be awake.
it could be in the middle of the night because sometimes the moon's up in the day.
True.
And it could just, as far as our moon phases, it might just be one where you have like a crescent moon that night or something.
It's really creepy.
Yeah, that's good. Like, darn.
So at least not a lot of light, very soft light. Do you think having soft light, in your opinion, so far, does that make it seem a little creepier or a little more cheerful?
Creepier.
Maybe creepier.
Creepier, obviously, because they're having an affair. Or it
No.
must be the cab drivers there to steal a door was having an affair too.
Alrighty.
The cab driver must be a really old cab by now.
Third line, and the startled little waves that leap. What senses?
Sight.
So sight, because you can see the waves. Can
Again.
you hear the waves?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
you can
Well,
maybe
you
hear that
could
little.
hear them, but they don't describe the hearing of them. They
That's
just,
why you describe it.
It's General Xerox Island before it turned all like jungly and stuff.
Alright. So say something about, it's obviously sight, because you can see the little waves. You could maybe put hearing, auditory, that you could hear the waves. I'm thinking about like the little waves that are just kind of crashing on the shore, the small ones.
And it was
So it must be
the
right
warm
near the
sea.
ocean.
Yeah, so somewhere near an ocean probably.
Like you could feel
River?
the warm sea. Warm. They said it warm.
What's the word when a writer gives something like purse, like an inanimate object, like person?
personification.
That's the word. Thank you. It's like doing that to this.
Yes, because the waves are startled. So going back to is a little bit of light creepy or cheerful. Startled waves kind of lean toward the creepy side.
Yeah, it's like, why
That's
would
why
they
they're
startle?
scared.
What scared them?
What scared them?
Scared
And yes,
stuff.
bonus invisible gold star for Anna. That means nothing for adding personification. Fourth line, and fiery ringlets from their sleep.
That's a little creepy. Cause you see like a fiery tube.
Yeah, the fire kind of sounds a little dangerous. You're like,
What is that even talking about?
It's like a little ring of fire.
Where?
I would link that to the line before. So, and the startled little waves that leap in fiery ringlets from their sleep. So we're still describing the
Waves of fire.
So the waves used to be fiery ringlets?
Underwater volcanoes.
Obviously.
It's a pretty intense little
Oh no,
ocean.
it was Pacific Rim.
It might be, I think the book does an interpretation, it says waves brush with soft moonlight, so it might be the light on the waves as they kind of crest and go over. Or it could be, I don't know, a little more slightly violent tinge to how the waves kind of curl up.
That is kind of weird.
So like sight again.
Yeah, so that would pretty much be sight and fiery ringlets when they're asleep.
People's rings, but they're on fire.
Alright, next line. As I gain the cove with pushing prow.
That's like movement.
Yeah, that would be like movement. You see the boat moving. You could talk about the sense of touch, like the boat actually in the water, how it moves through the water. And quench its speed in a slushy sand.
It hits the sand.
So now the boat is hitting the sand. So
Movement.
yeah, movement. You can see the boat getting on
Touch.
there.
Movement and sound.
Touch and sound as the boat is actually, like, you can imagine what that the sand feels like when it's slushy. You can imagine what it so it feels like, sounds like.
It sounds really weird. Like nails on
It's like kind of like slurp sound as you like pull your foot up, slurping. Alright, next stanza. Then a mile of warm sea-scented beach. So is this what you're talking about, Henry, when they're talking about the sea being warm?
Definitely smells.
So smell, sea-scented, that's pretty clear. What about warm? What scent was that?
Feeling.
Touch.
Touch, tactile, feeling.
Touch. In.
Smell.
Alright, 3
Smell.
fields to cross to a farm appears. What's that?
movement.
So movement, crossing the fields. You
Okay,
can
sight.
Sight.
You can say sight because we're visually looking
Basically,
at
all
the,
of these are fine.
yeah, I think
I
you
like
can really argue
pictures.
all of them. You could see the slushy sand, you could see the ocean, you could see. A tap at the pane, the quick sharp scratch.
That's very
Sound.
So that's pretty sound heavy tap and the sharp scratch.
That would also be to touch.
Yeah, plus you can
And
imagine what the glass feels like as you're tapping it.
like
Scratch.
oh, like the scratching thing.
Yeah.
So
kind
when
of
you
like-
scratch the window.
No.
Because
That would
they
be
don't have
weird.
a door in.
Just imagine like an old window pane, like
What does it sound
scratch
like?
it.
Good sound, Henry.
That was your
Yeah.
fashion.
Doesn't sound like anything. Sounds like
Nails on a chalkboard.
The
Oh.
scratch is actually a match.
on a
Don't
phone.
put that sound in my head, I'm going to.
I know it makes my fingers get the heebie-jeebies, like I have to touch the ground. What is the sound of, like when it's talking about the sharp scratch, it's like the match being lit. So, I mean, even think about the box match where you go, and you're lighting it on
That's also weird.
it. It is kind of a weird sound.
Oh
It's
yeah,
less
that's
like
what's a good noise? When one's on fire and then while it's still on fire or it just went out, you stick the match in the water. It sounds
Yes.
like, it goes like this. It sounds so good.
It sounds really good. It's when you cock a shotgun. That's the best sound in the world.
Okay.
I know from experience.
Okay, yeah.
Moving on, a blue spurt of a lighted match.
Sight.
Sight, you
And
can see the
hearing.
blue, you can see the lighted match. And a voice less loud through its joys and fears. What is that?
Sound.
Hearing.
Sound, hearing. And then the two hearts beating each to each.
Movement.
Sound.
Movement, sound, you can hear the beating hearts.
See, I told you it's no fair. See,
With the
two
two
hearts beating. That's just like
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I also died over spring break.
Aww.
I got food
Again?
poisoning.
Oh, that's a rough way to be deadified over break.
Yeah, like I had to go skiing. Like I went skiing. Yeah, snowboarding / skiing. So I'm up there. I'm getting ready to go. And I'm just like, stupid outback. Like I had ribs like every other time, except for it's in the mountains, so must have like
And the
Like a
sanitation
40%.
rating.
a 40% sanitary rating or something because I was throwing up everywhere.
Did you sue them?
Did you throw up in the snow? I don't wanna
No,
know.
I
You never
Like,
went
wait, I don't
snowboarding.
want all that.
I never even went down, even though my sister said I did, and she said I must have not remembered.
I got food poisoning.
I'm not sure I wouldn't remember if I
You definitely did go down.
Yeah, let's not appeal to all of our senses hearing that story.
Sad.
Alright, let's take a 4-minute break. Remember, if you're staying inside, you have to like whisper because not everybody's getting the same rating as you. And then we'll come back and finish our notes together. So get your wiggles out so we can focus on notes.
Excuse me.